Okay, so my biggest insecurity, I usually don't tell people this a lot, but when I was younger, I was really shy, and my biological dad was kind of abusive, and so there's a lot of times where he would do stuff to like my family or my mom and stuff, and I always just felt like the feeling that I remember feeling the earliest was like that I was kind of like a coward. And so now anytime that I'm like that I want to stand up to for my friends or something, I always get like a bit nervous, because I feel like that's like one of the emotions that I associated with myself the earliest, which just like sucks to be like 4 years old and feel like you can't do anything, but I know that I should have done something, but it's just kind of like I was just kind of stuck. So I always like deal with like stage fright, or like when I know I'm supposed to stand up for something but I feel like I can't, those feelings just like come back. So yeah.
Well, so like growing up, I always had like a really pretty older sister, and I was always like really insecure that like I wasn't gonna like be as good as her, and I felt like everyone compared us like all the time, and so I think I just like was always scared that like people would like choose like her over me, I guess, because like kind of reoccurring with like friends and stuff, I felt like they liked her better because like she was older, she was prettier, like stuff like that. So I guess that was the biggest insecurity, I guess. Yeah. Oh.
When I was younger, I didn't really I couldn't talk very well, and so I had like no one could understand what I was saying, and I had to have like all of my friends or my siblings like tell people what I was trying to say, because no one knew the words that were coming out. So I think that kind of affected me and made me not want to talk in front of people. So I think it's still in the back of my mind when I talk in front of people and have to like do things where it's other people watching, but I think I've kind of, my friends and family have helped me getting over it, so yeah.
My biggest insecurity is probably my weight. I never had to worry about it all my life, and I never really thought about it until I put on a few pounds after having 5 kids. And as a mom, it's hard to take care of yourself, and I put everybody else first. And so yeah, it's weird to think that just putting on a few pounds would make me feel completely different about who I am, and not be confident in my other giftings. But that's what I'm dealing with right now, is just like how could this stop me doing things that I love, or being in pictures with my beautiful, wonderful children, and then I get sad because I miss memories, because I don't want to see a picture of myself, and that's sad, because my kids they don't care. They just want to know that I love them, and I do, and I want to love myself enough to not care that I look not my best in pictures.
I'm a little like naive to things, you know, like it's easy for some people to like take advantage of me a lot. For example, maybe like when they're like selling something, they're like pressuring me into doing, I'm like, oh, okay. So like it's hard for me to just like say no.
I've actually been thinking about it a lot recently, is I don't really know myself, like I don't know who I am, and I've been trying to figure it out, and it's something that I kind of stay up at night thinking about. I don't know, like I pour all my energy and time into like other people and other things going on around me, but I never focus on myself. So I guess like I'm my biggest insecurity, if that makes sense. I think, yeah, that's weird saying that out loud. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Maybe my height? I'm gonna have to say my height. Sometimes I can't see above me or anything like that. It's hard being short, and I feel like a lot of people literally look down on me. So.
Definitely my height, just because like being a girl or being a woman and being like significantly taller than the other guys could be intimidating. At first it was really, really difficult, like being so different than everyone else, but now I like it.
Oh man, probably my weight, my biggest insecurity.
I guess the fact that I'm skinny, I can't do shit about it.
I'd probably say my hair. It doesn't behave sometimes. It doesn't.
My biggest insecurity is actually my feet. Yeah, I had eczema on my left foot, and I don't really like showing off my toes, because I mean, you look around, people have beautiful feet and they get to wear sandals and stuff, and me, I gotta like put like layers of lotion on and stuff like that just to even have my foot looking normal. So yeah, that's one of my biggest insecurities.
My skin, actually. It's really weird. I have eczema all over. I feel like every time I look in the mirror, I see it all the time. It's all I can see when I look at myself.
My shyness, I guess, or like, I don't know. Yeah, the way I act when I'm like nervous, I guess. I don't know. I get weird, and I feel like it it stops me from being like my full personality, I guess. So yeah. I don't know.
I think my biggest insecurity is probably the way that I like project myself towards other people, like first impression wise. Like sometimes I feel like I can come off like way too strong, or like sometimes I feel like people tend to think that I'm weird, or like people tend to think that like I look weird, or I talk weird, or I act weird, you know. So I'm very cautious about like the things that I do on like a daily basis. I'm constantly like thinking about like if I'm doing something wrong, or if I'm saying something wrong, or if I annoyed someone or something like that. So I would say that like my personality, there we go, is probably what I'm most insecure about.
That I'm not enough for people. Like I want them to want me to be around, and like I just feel like I'm never like good enough. Yeah. I try not to feel like that, but sometimes I just feel like I'm like a burden to people.
I think my biggest insecurity is how quiet I am. Like I get confused. I'm like, should I be saying something? But no, I don't, so it's fine.
I'm insecure about my ability to make myself seem vulnerable, or in any situation where I can be perceived as sensitive or weak, I guess. I become really insecure about that type of thing. Because I'm hard-headed, probably, and I'm stubborn, and I like to have people believe that I am more resilient and like tougher than I am. Because it helps me, it protects me.
I don't know, probably just people kind of maybe just brushing me off to the side, like just trying to make sure that people like notice me, I guess. I have a brother who's 2 years older than me, and so a lot of the times in like school I would get called by my brother's name, and so I think a big thing was like trying to make sure that I had my own identity growing up and not just being my older brother's younger brother.
My biggest insecurity are my feelings. Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I don't like how other people can perceive my feelings, even though I know how I feel like deep inside, but like to someone else it could be something completely different, and so like it just gives me anxiety about, oh my god, they don't understand what I'm saying or how I'm feeling, so like everything just like comes off wrong, and then like just leads to bad situations, you know? Growing up, I really haven't like, I wasn't really able to like express myself or like how I feel or anything, because especially like in Chicago, like feelings like don't exist. So if you feel something, you just have to like keep that like inside for yourself, and you just have to like deal with it on your own. So.
My lisp, because I got made fun of a lot when I was younger about it, and then it kind of just, now I'm insecure about it even as an adult.
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, as you can see, I've struggled with acne since like early childhood. And I guess like when I get, like when my anxiety acts up, I start to like pick at my skin, thinking about like what everyone thinks when they look at me, or like even when I'm around family and they make a comment or something like that. It just kind of really gets to me.
I feel like my body image, like as long as I can remember, has always been like my biggest, like my weight. My mom is like super skinny, and she's always like talking about how she's like fat. So then growing up, she's always kind of made comments, not like mean to me at all, but just kind of like about herself, and then that kind of like has trickled down to me and how I feel about myself. And yeah.
I don't really think I have an insecurity because I'm just a really perfect person, and it's just really hard being me. So I guess my biggest insecurity is that people think I'm just better than them.
Do you truly feel that way?
No. No, I think my biggest insecurity is probably, I think being unliked by people and people judging me, which is common, but yeah.
My biggest insecurity is that I wouldn't be loved and I'd be lonely.
Getting in love, that hurts when I don't feel the other person loves me.
To not have love reciprocated.
Maybe like never finding love. My parents didn't, so I'm scared that I won't, you know?
I find myself being scared of being alone and unhappy.
Being alone, perhaps, because I think people need people.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching another episode. Basically, I just want to say welcome to the new subscribers and to the subscribers who have been with me for a while. I want to thank you for constantly supporting my channel. And to the new viewers who haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I hope you get to the point where you want to hit the subscribe button and possibly the bell next to it so you get notified every time I put up a new episode. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of my recent episodes have been suggestions from you guys, so I want to thank you for that as well. I have noticed that you guys love suggesting questions for my Strangers Answer series, which I love, but I do want to let you know that you could literally suggest anything you want. It doesn't just have to be a question, it could be like a whole new project idea. I'm always open to trying new things as long as it lines up with what my channel's about, which is doing things with strangers and sharing good stories. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys again for everything, and I'll see you next week.